Hello world, it is Friday, October 2nd. Kind of a nice day, chilly fall day. I think the high today is supposed to be something like 55 degrees, so not very warm. I actually broke down and turned the heat on in my house today because it was 66 when I got up. It's a little chillier than I like it, although I don't usually have it that warm in my house. It's only 68 in the winter. 66 was a bit brisk. Today's devotion is entitled Charming Disarmament, and it's written by Quinn Caldwell. And Quinn bases the devotion upon Mark chapter 7, verses 25 through 30, excerpted verses from it, from the New Revised Standard Version. A woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit came and bowed down at Jesus' feet. Now the woman was a Gentile of Syrophoenician origin. She begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. He said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." But she answered him, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he said to her, "For saying that, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." Quinn writes, I used to think the most important thing about this story was how quickly Jesus learned and turned. Like a dude who receives feedback on his problematic behavior from a woman, shows no signs of fragility, admits the validity of the feedback, and changes his behavior so fast. Truly, this man was the Son of God. But honestly, the more important thing about this story is the Syrophoenician woman's response to Jesus' cruelty. Doesn't flinch, doesn't miss a beat, doesn't give him the tongue lashing he deserves, and that she deserves to be able to give him. Calm, clever, charming. Meanwhile, the stress hormones surge through her veins and her daughter slowly dies. How much practice did that take? How many calm, clever responses did she have at the ready from past interactions with the likes of him? How many rehearsals did it require to be able to yes and him with that carefully controlled wry smile? Can you imagine leading the kind of life where you have to get good at charmingly disarming bigots in order to try to save your daughter's life? And most importantly, why are we still living in a world that requires this sort of virtuosity from anyone? And Quinn's prayer. Help me make a world where nobody needs to charmingly disarm a bigot ever again. Amen. It seems to me I recently preached on a version of that, or included it in a sermon. And it is an interesting story. And it is interesting in how the woman doesn't back away from Jesus and stands up to him. And that's what really needs to happen when someone is being discriminated against or being made to be felt as less than, as Jesus seemed to be making her feel, calling her a dog, and she doesn't back down. She stands up for herself. It also reminded me of a conversation I had with Dory, our office manager, the other day, about dealing with difficult people who may be confronting you. And she talked about giving someone her wry smile and just kind of looking at them and smiling and letting them talk until they're done talking. And just from the look, they know what they're saying and how they're saying it. It helps them to be self-reflective. So, but I wonder why, like Quinn, why we live in such a world where that kind of stuff still goes on. We need to live and support one another, and we shouldn't ever put anyone in a place in which they need to stand up in order to be seen and to be heard and to be recognized that their life does in fact matter. So a lot to think about in this story. And it is interesting that Jesus changed his attitude when she stood up to him. So if Jesus can do it, why can't we? Hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.